Hey guys, Mark Lyon here, Lion Horses. Today I got a little tip for you. So I was teaching a roping clinic last weekend, ranch roping, and people wanted to know whether they should use a tied Honda or a metal Honda. So I'm going to show you what I use and maybe the pros and cons of each one, and a little bit about it. Maybe it'll help you decide which one's best for you. So for me, my personal preference, I like a metal Honda, and several reasons for that. One of them is that Honda will swivel, and so if you get a little figure eight in your rope, you can just that rope will swivel around. You can take that rope and you can swivel it around inside that Honda, and that makes it a little nice. Next thing is I rope a lot, and I wear the end of the rope out, so where it comes tight. So right there's about, maybe where one would come tight on a neck, or maybe if you have a pretty good sized cow on the back feet, and right in here, kind of a little bit bigger cow maybe around the neck, and you can see that's started to wear right there, and so it's getting worn out, and it's not going to take very long before that spot right there is probably going to break. So that's not going to be very good. So what I'm going to do, I use a 60-foot rope. A lot of the ranch ropes are between 45 and 60 foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take that piece, and you can see I can just take that Honda and slide it down the rope there until, pull this down just a little bit more, until it's down there like that. And then what I can do, I can just keep that running around there until all this rope that's kind of junky and worn out is out, and then I'm just going to cut it off and retie that knot back. So I'm going to cut the last 3 foot of the rope off, tie that knot back, and now I've got rid of that bad rope, and my rope's just 3 foot shorter, and I'm ready to go again. So that's kind of nice. That's one reason why I like it. It allows me a little extra swivel there, and I can just shorten the rope up instead of having to throw the whole thing away or cut it off and tie a new Honda on there. That knot's for me is a little bit easier to tie. So that's what I do. And I like this style Honda here, which is a Buck Brannaman style Honda. I just like it a little bit better. Now there's a couple other Hondas that you can use. If you use, there's a kind of a Great Basin, they call it kind of a Buckaroo style Honda here. Like that. Some of them will even make a pretty good size, looks like a big chain link out of aluminum, and they make a aluminum Honda. This one's a breakaway, and same thing, kind of just split right there in the middle, and it's got the same deal where it's got a little hole there, so you just stick it in there. So that's the other thing. If I wanted to do a little breakaway in on maybe a colt or something, or just practice, I could just take that steel Honda off, put my breakaway on, go rope for the day, and be fine. So anyway, I actually normally carry a couple of ropes with breakaways on them, and then I have some with the regular hard Hondas, and then I can use whichever one I want. So that's what I do. And then sometimes you'll see a guy, the old Buckaroo guys, a lot of times they used to tie a ring on there, and a lot of times you'll see some of the vaqueros and the Spanish guys, especially with some of the maguey ropes, and a few of the lariats, they'll even have a ring tied in the end, and they'll use that as the Honda. So those are some of the ways you can do it. Now the other one, the rope you've probably seen, most familiar with, is the tied Honda. And so what they do is they tie that little loop there on the end of the rope, and it's generally how they come. Most of them are probably have that tied Honda. And then where it rubs, where that rope is going to run on that loop, they put what they call a burner. And this one's a rawhide burner. They also have speed burners, which are like plastic, and sometimes they'll have a metal burner on the end. And so, yeah, lots of different ways to do it. But yeah, this one's got a rawhide burner sewn on the end, and so pretty good. This is probably what you see most of the time, and it's not bad. It's really pretty good. I don't like these quite as much because, like I say, I can't switch that Honda out for a breakaway when I want to just practice. And then, like I say, when that rope starts getting a little worn, I'm going to have to retie that Honda and take that speed burner off and put it on a new one, or get a new speed burner. And It's okay. It's not bad, but it's not my favorite. So I like the replaceable Hondas. Just for what I do, is a little bit better. So anyway, I hope this information helps. Remember, we're all trying to be the person our horse deserves.